everyone, this is Showtime 112. In June 1972, Operation Linebacker, the strategic air campaign against North Vietnam, was in full swing. The attackers were fighting a constant battle with the defenders, each one introducing new tactics and methods. But some of the methods were quite old, such as dropping chaff corridors to confuse enemy radars and hide the location of strike formations. First employed during World War II, the method required a formation of aircraft whose only task was to carry and drop large quantities of chaff, radar-reflecting aluminum strips. These formations were quite vulnerable, as the chaff dropping required them to fly at low speed, set altitude and level. North Vietnamese quickly realized this, and their MiG fighters were often vectored to attack chaffers and their fighter escorts. On 21st of June 1972, a flight of 4 F-4E Phantoms from the 469th Tactical Fighter Squadron, based in Korat, Thailand, was tasked with escorting 2 flights of chaff-dispensing Phantoms over Route Package 6. The flight leader was Colonel Mile Vojvodic Jr. The second element was led by Lieutenant Colonel Von Christensen, with Major K. Harden in the back seat. The command post of the 927th Fighter Regiment of the North Vietnamese Air Force ordered 2 MiG-21 fighters to take off from the airfield at Da Phuoc at 11:04. They were flown by Le Tan Dao and Mai Van Thuy. As they were passing Pha Lai east of Hanoi, the Vietnamese leader spotted 2 American aircraft to his right. They were heading straight at his formation. Lieutenant Colonel Christensen remembers spotting the MiGs at 12 o'clock high in direction of the chaff force. The chaff Phantoms were positioned just under the base of the overcast. The MiG leader turned hard right to meet the Phantoms. The MiG wingman, Mai Van Thuy, however, spotted the second Phantom element, led by Von Christensen. He also turned to meet the new threat. The MiG leader engaged the Phantom lead formation led by Colonel Vojvodic. A dogfight developed in which the involved fighters completed several circles. At one point, Colonel Vojvodic managed to launch a missile, but without achieving a hit. The Vietnamese leader, Le Tan Dao, realizing his difficult position, requested his ground control for a permission to disengage. It was granted. But the MiG wingman managed to position himself behind Colonel Vojvodic. Mai Van Thuy was about 1.8 miles behind and slightly below the Phantom. He stabilized his gun sight and launched 1 or 2 missiles. The sources disagree on the exact number. The Phantom number 3, Lieutenant Colonel Christensen, warned his leader, who broke hard to the left and evaded the attack. Christensen accelerated and stabilized his position about 5,000 feet behind the MiG. He acquired a radar lock and attempted to launch 2 AIM-7 Sparrow missiles, but they both refused to leave the aircraft. Christensen then switched to AIM-9 Sidewinders and got a good tone. He ripple-fired 2 or 3 missiles. The pilot and the whistle have different recollections. Mai Van Thuy suddenly felt his aircraft shake badly, and he lost control. Having no other choice, he immediately ejected. he landed safely. Christensen then engaged the MiG leader, who was slightly above him at about 20,000 feet. He was able to get on his 6 o'clock, and both aircraft eventually maneuvered all the way down to 1,000 feet. Christensen was able to fire several gun bursts at the MiG. A few hits were achieved, but the Phantom reached bingo fuel and needed to abort the attack. The MiGs were able to strike back that same day, shooting down one of the Phantom chaffers several hours later. One source in fact seems to confuse the two engagements and suggests that this occurred during the engagement you've just seen. We might cover this other fight in the future if you're interested, but for now, thank you for your time and keep watching Showtime 112.